Okay, hello guys. So this is a video about the Hobbit strategy battle game and the new Unexpected Journey big hardback rulebook. Now I'd like to say this is a big beefy tome of a rulebook. I think it's probably a little bit bigger than the previous Lord of the Rings blue covered strategy battle game book. It's still hardback, it's still full colour, and it's been presented in a wonderful new fashion. I really like the graphics design that they've put into this. I really like well designed books and thought out books, and this one has definitely got that going on. I really like this ring circular motif with the picture within that they've used on all the merchandising for the Hobbit miniatures game. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you about this because I was actually quite excited about the big rulebook. It's often something people ignore, especially when the box set comes out straight away and it has a rulebook in there. But this has got benefits of its own, and I'd quite like to go through that with you. So initially, the reason I really wanted this was I knew it would have a really good hobby section, which is always something I look for. I knew it would have previews of miniatures that aren't out yet, have rules for miniatures that aren't out yet, and also scenarios based on the game, on the film, games based on the film. And that's the reason I really want to play this game, because I like narrative gaming. The Hobbit is a book that I grew up on and I really enjoy, and I'm so glad it's become a film. And yeah, those are the underlying reasons why I went for the big rulebook as well as the Escape from Goblin Town box set. So let's have a look inside. So obviously the first thing is you get greeted by the map that the company of dwarves take. So it's got their travels running along there up to the Lonely Mountain. We've got a really nice, actually, that kind of, I don't know why, but having a ribbon suddenly makes it feel really good. But there we go. It's gorgeously illustrated the whole way through. I have been reading this for a couple of hours, so I sort of know my way around it a little bit. So at first we're kind of greeted by miniatures that we're all quite familiar with now, what with the new game being announced a week ago. But a few pages in, we see something completely new. So this is a Rivendell Cavalry Elf, absolutely new, and to me that looks plastic. I'm not entirely sure, I can't be certain, but I do think that's plastic, and I don't think it's the last that you're going to see of other things in here. So it does match up to the little rulebook quite well. It's very similar. I think the little rulebook is literally this reprinted with some other bits and bobs in there too. So I'm just trying to find some of the other things you might be interested in. There's a lot of things that haven't been seen before. I mean, we've got fell wargs here with no riders. Some really nice scenery in here too. The rules have changed a little bit. They're still pretty much the same. You can use all the miniatures from your Lord of the Rings collection in the Hobbit with the Hobbit miniatures as well. But you've got some new rules in here too, and that's why it's worth just having a quick read through it anyway. Things like monsters have changed a bit, heroic actions have changed, all for the better. Makes it all more heroic and a bit more varied. I found Lord of the Rings sometimes becomes a bit kind of repetitive, whereas the Hobbit looks like it's going to really play out to its strengths and using that storyline. I mean, why not? If you have the rights to it, I'd absolutely use it. So, for example, the trolls, the 3 trolls, they've each got very specific rules of things they can do using their monstrous actions, and I think that's just fantastic. Right, so, this is another character we haven't seen. Let's set that focus. So, I believe these elves are plastic, except for the leader at the front with no helmet on. I say he was fine cast, but the others definitely have that kind of plastic look about them. You tell me what you think, guys. I don't know. I really like the billowing cloaks behind them. I think that's a really nice little touch. Okay, so they've used the hunter orcs quite a lot throughout. They're gorgeous models, so I don't see why not. But yeah, it's that's just the way it is. Don't know where I was going with that. Lots and lots of rule stuff. They've done really well making these diagrams. They're very nice. Very tasty diagrams. Again, here's the rules for monsters I was talking about. Just trying to find some of these pictures. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so if we take a moment to analyse this picture, you've got the Hunter Orcs at the front, you've got the White Council here, you've got Radagast, but oh look, he's not running. It's a different version of Radagast, and that's a really, really fine version of it. We've also got the eagle in the background. That's not the Metal Eagle Gwahir. That is a new version of it. I think that's plastic too, just it looks plastic to me. It may well be fine cast, we'll just have to wait and see and find out. Okay. There we go, there they are again. There's a few different variants there. I think the one with its talons back is Gwahir, the Lord of the Eagles. Excuse me. Yeah, there's a couple of other things like the Dwarf Warriors, and also, here they are, the Thorin's Company in completely different poses, and they've got a bit more detail going on there. More awkward sculpts to cast, that is. They're nice sculpts, but to cast in a plastic mould would be completely impossible, unless they were very, very, very well milled and very well executed in quite a few parts. But they just look like fine cast models to me, like metal or fine cast. They look like they've been rubber moulded rather than steel moulded. So that's my opinion. I'd like to hear your opinion as well. That'd be really cool, actually. See what you guys think. What else have we got? Got lots of nice pictures from the films there too. Oh, there's a different Bilbo. Again, I think that is a fine cast model. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, and I think this is a different alternative version of the Goblin King, the Great Goblin. He's there throwing a goblin. In his special rules, he can throw goblins if he wants to. I just think where some of the details are, it just doesn't look like a plastic model, and the way some of the things sit, like that hair is really, really defined in this picture. Now that could be played around with on Photoshop to make it look more defined, but I don't know if that would necessarily be worthwhile. This gap here would be very hard to mould unless it was a separate part, which it could well be. It could be anything, but that to me does look like a fine cast model, like an alternative miniature for it. And I think that's great that they're experimenting with that. Obviously some people won't like it. I'd imagine some gamers won't like it. Having multiple miniatures when I'm sure they'd prefer to have two very different miniatures for different purposes. But I really love it because I think The Lord of the Rings is there to set a scene and The Hobbit's doing the same. So why not have multi-purposed miniatures that do the same thing in the game but are just different looking models? Helps people make dioramas and stuff like that. Now there's another shot of these dwarves here. Gandalf cowering there. I don't know what he's doing exactly, but I'd be intrigued to know. Just have to wait and see, I think. It's all very exciting though. I may not sound excited, but I am. I can assure you. Got some scenarios here from Lord of the Rings 2, so Siege of Helm's Deep. Just to show you that you can still use your old models, you can still collect Lord of the Rings and make it a new collection too. Why not? What else have we got? Here's some of the characters. So there's your Rivendell Knight captain. Got one of the Grimhammer dwarves. Gorgeous little model. And then this is what's really exciting. The Grimhammer dwarves here. Stunning models. Really, really cool. I hope those are plastic. I really, really do. If they're fine cast, it's not an issue. But obviously if they're plastic, you can have thousands of them. There's your Great Eagles. And your Rivendell Knights there too. Eagles once again. Got rules for Azog. Got rules for Bolg. Lots and lots of stuff. A new Golem miniature. There. Yeah. Quite exciting stuff. That's cool. I think that's it. I did see an alternate Hunter Orc Warg Rider. I thought it might have been Azog, but he's not riding a white warg, so I don't know if it's him. I can't find it now, but I'm sure you'll find pictures of it on the internet very, very soon. In fact, I'd imagine. But yeah, that's a nice model. I think it might be a captain, something like that. You've got, oh, this is useful. You've got all the stats here in the back. Everything you need except points. So yeah. And the game summary, all very useful stuff. I really think this rulebook's been well thought out. They've had enough time to kind of play around with it. Adam Troke's done a gorgeous job of writing those rules. He's got such a good passion for the game. You can tell just by reading any of his work, talking to him. You know, he just seems to have that passion driving everything he does. So I'm really pleased to have this rulebook. I'm really pleased to have the box set, and I can't wait to get started on painting my new Goblin army. So cheers for watching, guys. Thanks for commenting and subscribing. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, like if you do like the video, and comment below if there's anything you'd like to add to what I've said. If there's anything you're particularly excited about, do let me know.